Shot-town. Woo, too much water for me. Chicago. Chirac. Chirac, Chirac, Chirac.
Welcome back. Burritos, cheeseburgers, and chicken quesadillas. Ooh, that sounds all good this morning. But those were the most popular foods for college students in the most recent school year. Now, that's according to Grubhub. The delivery service says lunch on Tuesday is the most popular day and time to order food. What about Taco Tuesday?
Where's the money for all that? I was dirt poor.
I know, that's so true, right?
Mom and dad, or they,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's why Taco Tuesday
Cup of noodles.
Yeah, I want mom and dad get that all the time. I don't think so.
All
Tornard.
roommates that I had, we were
Give me
we
that.
did a lot of the Salisbury steak.
Hey, ramen noodles, brother. Don't worry about it. Just stop whining. Stop whining. Stop whining. College. College.
Remember that when you look at why, because that's a question. Why did Hunter Biden evade taxes? That question was not asked. Yeah, that's a great point.
And not as cold in here as it normally is.
Serious question. Do you notice the odors? They stack up. Cigarettes, cooking, diapers, even for a thunderstorm air purifier, uses cutting-edge oxy technology to quickly eliminate any odor guaranteed. With over 300,000 units sold, you can trust
Great
that
day to
it
be
works.
alive.
And don't forget those stinky litter boxes, trash cans, cigarette smoke, even dirty diapers. Gets rid of the odors in just minutes. The powerful thunderstorm sends out O3 molecules that destroy odors, even in hard-to-reach places, and there are no filters to buy ever again. Right now, you can get 3 thunderstorms for under $200 with a $200 discount. Place one in your basement, your bedroom, your family room, put them all over the house. Go to EdenPureDeals.com. Use discount code REDEYE to save $200. That's EdenPureDeals.com. Discount code REDEYE. And shipping is free. From the father of CB radios comes one bad mother. Eric Carly here. You've heard me talk about Uniden CBs for years now. Uniden has been the cornerstone of the trucking industry since the beginning. And even in the age of cell phones, Uniden CBs still remain the trucker's favorite. It is social media at its best. When you need to low down on the road ahead, you need a Uniden CB. It is one bad mother. Go to Uniden.com today or stop by your nearest Pilot Line J
At Progressive Commercial, we want truckers to know we give a truck about trucker safety and about saving them a truckload on their insurance. We save safe truckers an average of $3,740 a year when they share their ELD data with us, just for keeping it safe as truck out there. Get a quote in as little as 5 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Safe customers based on FMCSA inspections, driving history, and other data for for-hire transportation. Not available in all states. Savings not guaranteed. And renewal driving data could increase or decrease premiums.
Red Eye Radio and our sponsors are devoted to trucking safety. That's why we're proud to bring you the Red Eye Radio Million Mile Club. We've been saluting drivers who have surpassed the million-mile mark with preventable accident-free driving. By reaching this milestone, you can be a part of an elite club of drivers who share remarkable safety records and demonstrate superior driving skills. If you or someone you know is a truck driver with 1 million miles or more of driving under your belt without a preventable accident, register online at redeyeradioshow.com. That's redeyeradioshow.com. The Red Eye Radio Million Mile Club would not be possible without the generous support of the fine folks from Petro Stopping Centers, House Lubricator, Motel 6, the St. Christopher Fund, and Cat Scale. We applaud the individual truckers and fleets who drive with care and keep our highways safe. The Red Eye Radio Million Mile Club, devoted to trucking safety. Register online at redeyeradioshow.com.
News Radio 1440 is WLWI AM and 95.1 HD3 FM of Montgomery, a Cumulus media station. This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez, a ray of hope in the frantic search for the submersible that disappeared Sunday on an expedition to the wreckage of the Titanic. A Canadian military surveillance aircraft has detected underwater noises in the massive search area in a remote part of the North Atlantic. CBS's Jared Hill says there were warnings beforehand.
CBS News is learning that in 2018, a group of leaders in the submersible industry sent the company a letter warning of possible catastrophic problems with its submersible and a planned mission to the Titanic wreckage.
The 5 people on board the Titan have roughly a day's worth of oxygen left. Republicans on Capitol Hill are angry President Biden's son Hunter will likely avoid prison after pleading guilty to federal tax offenses. CBS's Chanel Call. As part of the plea agreement, 3 charges were filed in a Delaware court. 2 misdemeanor counts of willful failure to pay federal income tax on earnings in excess of $1.5 million. His 3rd count, possession of a handgun by a drug user, would be dismissed if Hunter Biden remains drug-free and doesn't commit another crime for 2 years. House Republicans say they will move forward with their own investigation. More than 200,000 people have no power as severe heat scorches the South. This woman is in Shreveport, Louisiana.
This place is closed. You can't hardly get food, hot food. You can't hardly get cold ice and whatever.
San Angelo, Texas marked its warmest day ever yesterday when temperatures got up to 114. There's more brutal heat in the forecast today. China is responding after President Biden called Xi Jinping a dictator during a fundraiser in California. Beijing said the remark was extremely absurd and irresponsible. New violence in the Middle East. CBS's Lee Bradstein reports from Jerusalem.
Carloads of Jewish settlers set dozens of Palestinian cars and fields on fire, vandalizing homes, and even torched a Palestinian ambulance. The settlers were responding to a deadly shooting attack that killed 4 Israelis at a gas station in the West Bank yesterday. That attack followed an Israeli raid on a Palestinian refugee camp Monday. 7 Palestinians, including a 15-year-old girl, were killed in the clashes.
For the first time, federal health officials in the U.S. are recommending adults be screened for anxiety. CBS's Michael George.
The U.S. Preventative Services Task Force is an independent panel of experts who make recommendations to help primary care clinicians treat patients. The group says depression and anxiety disorders are often unrecognized.
This is CBS News.
Hiring's a lot easier with Indeed. Their powerful platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
This is an urgent announcement for anyone that's $10,000 or more in debt. Before you make another minimum payment, you need to know there are special programs that can completely free you of your debt. Total Financial Freedom can help you become debt-free in months instead of years. Resolve your credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and time Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-1312 for a free consultation. For 16 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get out of debt. You can feel confident when calling because Total Financial Freedom is A+ rated by
Chicago.
Chicago.
Chicago. Oh.
You have the right
Chicago. Chicago, mama. Chicago.
At 800-208-1312. That's 800-208.
Let me see here now.
800-208-1312. Call now.
They're still in the thick of crickets in one western state. The small town of Elko in rural northeastern Nevada is being invaded by a swarm of blood-red crickets. Resident Stephanie Garrett says they cover roads.
And it just makes your skin crawl. It's just so gross.
Nevada's entomologist says the insects, known as Mormon crickets, won't stay long, but frustrated residents like Colette Reynolds can't wait to see them go.
When you're inside the house, it sounds like it's raining because they just randomly let go of wherever they're hanging onto and drop.
Once a cricket dies, more come and start feeding on each other. Once the mating ends and the eggs are in the soil by the end of August, they'll disappear. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in the U.S. for a 3-day visit that will include an Oval Office meeting with President Biden and a rare White House state dinner. This morning, Modi will lead a group yoga session at UN headquarters in New York. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Well, what are we going to talk about today? Trump trial date set days before first Republican debate. Judge moves case out of Miami. Poll support softens post-indictment. Admitted to obstruction on Fox, declares Christy Barr, bringing calamity on self and country. Yeah, ain't no more calamity that's happening with us now. President stands by his son. MAGA blast. So they can get a corrupt deal, but Trump can't get one. Oh, yes. We call that hypocrisy, is what we call that. Yeah, that's what we call it. Mm-hmm. Hypocrisy. But at some point, nature has a way of straightening it all out. At some point. Okay, Callan, HBO idol is sickening rape fantasy as poisonous as cancer. Yeah, I understand. Alito took luxury fishing vacation with GOP billionaire who later had cases before court. Well, you know, 24 hours left on Titanic 2. Banging sounds heard. Okay, that's all right. 1% chance of survival. Okay. Woo-hoo. I'm not going to the deepest of the seas and paying for it. I don't think so.
Probation for failing to pay its federal income taxes on time in 2017 and 2018. If you're looking to add to the family, now's a great time to consider adopting a pet. The Montgomery Humane Society says its shelter is overloaded right now with animals. They have dozens of puppies, adult dogs, and kittens. The shelter is located on John Overton Drive in Montgomery. That's your news on this Wednesday morning. I'm Jeff Davis for WSFA 12 News.
Research shows that successful ad campaigns share 8 characteristics. Radio is the only local media option that delivers all 8 of them. Radio reaches your potential customers close to the point of purchase. It provides local consumer interactions with emotional connections that build trust and credibility for your business. Radio is unskippable and quick. We get your message out in 24 to 48 hours, and radio is very affordable. That's why radio consistently gives you the highest return on investment, and it's also why it should always be your base media buy. Research also confirms that marketing campaigns generate even higher returns, starting at a 19% lift when they are on more than one platform. That's why Cumulus offers a variety of effective digital solutions to enhance your base radio buy. At Cumulus, we are your one-stop shop to deliver a coordinated radio and digital campaign that will get your business results. Hi, I'm Sonia Thompson, and it's my job to get your business results on News Radio 1440. To learn more about how to get started, go to newsradio1440.com and click on Grow Your Business.
Are summer projects already piling up on your property? Come see us at SunSouth. We'll help you find the right equipment to meet your needs, and you don't have to sacrifice quality for affordability at SunSouth, because John Deere equipment is built to last, with the warranty to back it up. Right now, drive off a new John Deere 1 Series with loader starting around $195 a month. For equipment to meet your needs, come see us at SunSouth. Equipment for those that choose.
Some restriction applies. See delivery details. Expires June 30, 2023. Women are tired of bulky, leaky plastic pads made with harsh ingredients that itch and irritate their skin. Attention Grace has set out to design the cleanest, highest performing incontinence products. And the difference is night and day. Women everywhere are switching to Attention Grace, a revolutionary line of skin-safe incontinence liners, pads, and briefs that are tough on leaks, safe on skin, and gentler on the planet. Ready to upgrade your incontinence care? Attention Grace, now available at walmart.com and 1,500 supercenters nationwide.
Summer is here. Time for perfectly aged, always tender, and guaranteed delicious Omaha Steaks. Here's an amazing offer when you go to omahasteaks.com and enter Garden into the search bar. Save over 61% on the Gourmet Grill Pack and receive 8 free Omaha Steaks burgers when you order. Omaha Steaks isn't just steak. It's the best steak of your life, guaranteed. Type Garden into the search bar at omahasteaks.com and order the Gourmet Grill Pack today. omahasteaks.com, keyword Garden.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.
Women are tired of bulky, leaky plastic pads made with harsh ingredients that itch and irritate their skin. Attention Grace has set out to design the cleanest, highest performing incontinence products. And the difference is night and day. Women everywhere are switching to Attention Grace, a revolutionary line of skin-safe incontinence liners, pads, and briefs that are tough on leaks, safe on skin, and gentler on the planet. Ready to upgrade your incontinence care? Attention Grace, now available at walmart.com and 1,500 supercenters nationwide.
Summer is here. Time for perfectly aged, always tender, and guaranteed delicious Omaha steaks. Here's an amazing offer when you go to omahasteaks.com and enter Garden into the search bar. Save over 61% on the gourmet grill pack and receive 8 free Omaha Steaks burgers when you order. Omaha Steaks isn't just steak, it's the best steak of your life, guaranteed. Type Garden into the search bar at omahasteaks.com and order the gourmet grill pack today. omahasteaks.com, keyword garden.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.
When you order food for work on EasyCater.com, we've got your back. Real humans are here to help with your order every step of the way, making sure everything goes right, even behind the scenes. Confirming and double-confirming with the restaurant that everything is on track. If there's a problem, thanks for calling EasyCater. Call us anytime, day or night, and we'll answer in seconds. We're right here with 100,000 restaurants, working hard to ensure the food arrives on time and is ordered. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Dads, this Father's Day, Cordell & Cordell celebrates you the entire month of June. Join us every Friday for our live webinar series, Father's Fridays. There you'll receive much useful information from our panel of speakers. To register, go to CordellCordell.com/Father's Day.
For matters in Tennessee, visit CordellCordell.com. 200 West Martin Luther King Boulevard, Suite 1000, Chattanooga, Tennessee, 37402. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is
yours too.
Legal services performed by other lawyers.
In jail.
Telling it like it really is. It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440. Sometimes you need
Alrighty then.
refocus on your day. The moment where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
Tomorrow morning, if you wake up and the sun does not appear,
And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It is time to rise and shine once again. For it is once again, one more time, one more day. You're on top of the ground, and the ground's not on top of you. And again, it is one more day. One more, once again. You're on top of the ground, and the ground's, of course, not on top of you. Good morning to you. It's time for our daily bread. I'm Kevin Elkins. How's everybody doing? It is a great day to be alive. It is June the 21st, 2023 AD. Today's daily bread is simply entitled Step by Step. Our scripture insight today comes from 1 Peter 4, 7 through 11. But Psalms 133:1 says, how good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity. Govern yourselves accordingly. And again, it is June the 21st, 2023. It is another day on top of the ground. It is a day that once it is gone, you don't get a second shot at it. You don't get it back. You don't get to summon it from the past. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you should have done with this day that you don't. And you certainly don't get a chance to come back and undo the things that you do. So whatever it is that you do with this day, June the 21st, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done with this day. Like I tell you every morning, because each morning is a present. It was not guaranteed, didn't have to be here, and some didn't make it. But you've been around a while, you've seen, you've heard many, many yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace and mercy of God, we may, I'm not sure, we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, then it is this day, June the 21st, 2023. That is the first day of the rest of our lives. What are we going to do with them? Well, whatever we do, while we can, for as long as we can, until we can't, reach back every once in a while and help somebody else along the way. Benjamin Elijah May said, whatever we do in life, we should do it so well, no man living, no man dead, no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say if that is the standard by which you live life, you'll always be successful. Oh, you'll fail at a thing or two, we all do. But you'll never be a failure until you quit. We say give up, never. Give out, maybe. Give in, not at all. Don't ever quit. Don't ever, ever give up. And no matter what happens this day, it is still a great day to be alive. Good morning to you, Montgomery. Step by step. That's our daily bread for the day, June the 21st, 2023 AD.
Hello, my name is Sochil Dixon. Welcome to today's encouragement from our daily bread, Step by Step. A dozen teams, each including 3 people standing shoulder to shoulder, prepared for the 4-legged race. With each outside person bound to the person in the middle by colorful rags at their ankles and knees, every trio locked their eyes on the finish line. When the whistle blew, the teams lunged forward. Most of them fell and struggled to regain their footing. A few groups chose to hop instead of walk. Some gave up, but one team delayed their start, confirmed their plan, and communicated as they moved forward. They stumbled along the way, but pressed on, and soon passed all the teams. Their willingness to cooperate step by step enabled them to cross the finish line together. Living for God within the community of believers in Jesus often feels as frustrating as trying to move forward during a 4-legged race. We often stumble when interacting with people who hold different opinions from us. In 1 Peter 4, Peter speaks of prayer, hospitality, and using our gifts to align ourselves in unity for life ahead. He urges believers in Jesus to love each other deeply, to be hospitable without complaining, and to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. When we ask God to help us communicate and cooperate, we can lead the race in showing the world how to celebrate differences and live together in unity. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 to 11. The end of all things is near. Therefore, be alert and of sober mind, so that you may pray. Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. Offer hospitality to one another without grumbling. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. If anyone speaks, they should do so as one who speaks the very words of God. If anyone serves, they should do so with the strength God provides, so that in all things God may be praised through Jesus Christ. To him be the glory and the power forever and ever. Amen. Let's pray. Mighty God, please help us communicate and cooperate with others as we learn to love like you love. Thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
It's time to rise and shine. You got the word? Now it's time to get up with the birds. 6:22 in the morning. It's time to rise and shine. No excuses. If you can look up, you ought to be able to get up. Come on now. You're wasting daylight. Wasting daylight.
Gotta be rough and tough, Bo diddly, have you heard?
Bo diddly, have you heard?
We're gonna jump from a big iron bird.
We're gonna jump from a big iron bird.
Hook up, shuffle to the door.
Stand up, hook up, shuffle to the door. Oh yeah. You leap right out and count to 4.
Open wide.
If my main don't open wide, I got a reserve by my side. Oh yeah. On the way. Time to rise and shine, Montgomery. La la, hey, hey. Hey la la, hey, hey. The GI grits and the GI gravy. We're so proud we didn't join the Navy. GI corn. We're so glad that we're airborne. Hey, lolly, lolly, hey. There we go. All the way. Every day. All the way. Oh, time for PT. Let's get it. Somebody get Sergeant Major out there and tell me it's going to do this. I'm only doing this 2 times this week. I'm tired. Work, ooh, ooh. Hard work, work. That's what they say. Hard work. Hard work. Every day. I get up about 2:45 and earn my pay. Hard work. Hard work. That's what they say. Hard work. I earn my pay. Oh. Oh, yeah. Hard work. Oh. Let's go to work. That's what they say. A little water. Hard work.
There we go. Hard work, son. I'm ready to rock. Hard work. I'm earning my pay. Hard work. That's what they say. Hard work. We can win on out.
Hard work. Woo! Hard work. On the airplane. In the early morning rain.
Hard work. That's what they say.
Hard work.
Let me hear.
Hard work.
Turn it up.
Hard work. Hard work.
Everybody on the plane.
Hard work. Sit them on down. Oh. Hard work.
The mission goes.
Hard work. That's what they say.
Hard work. I do it for play.
Hard work.
Earn my pay.
Hard work. Woo. Woo. Okay then. It's time to rise and shine, people. We pay homage like we do every day to all of our armed forces of these United States Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force. We won't get into that conversation we had the other day. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. And as they say, I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. That's Title 10 U.S. Code, Act 5, May 1960. The oath of enlistment. It don't expire. Remember that. Yeah, I know you got this thing. I remember it. Yeah, I got it right here in my head, right there. There it is. I'm waiting for that call, baby. I'm waiting for the call. But I'll be in the rear with the gear. To the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battles in the air. You know, I'm still trying to remember how many medals I have. Okay, not a whole lot, but I got a couple. You know, I got a few. Got like 3 rows of them. I mean, come on now. That's worth something. You know, officers have a slightly different oath than regular privates. Yeah, not much difference though, but it's still there. And they always say, you know, I tell you something about officers. I'm gonna tell you something about them. I'm gonna tell you something about them. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody? You know, I gotta tell you something about officers. You know, especially those who came from West Point. I'm not mad at them. I didn't know what the hell where I couldn't even find West Point on the map, but somebody put it in front of me. So I'm not hating on them. Okay, I'm not hating on them. I'm not. But you know, officers were a special breed of men. Most of them anyway. You ever notice everything they do, they show you that ring. That not ring, but ring. They show you that ring, right? And when they hit the table, they always hit the table with the ring finger. Bring attention to the ring, the West Point or the Georgia, the Citadel, whichever one they happen to come through, MIT, you know, Georgia Tech, whatever, whichever one. They always hit that. I got a ring now too, baby. I got a ring. So now it's coming in the mail. Yeah, I got it. I got my own ring, said United States Army on it, you know, airborne and all that good stuff right there. So when I do speeches from now on, I never get really called to do very many, but every once in a while, somebody call a brother out, I'm gonna have that ring right there in front of me, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have that ring, everything, every hand gesture that I make is gonna have that ring on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and then I probably won't wear it. Well, I can't wear rings, but I got this one. Because I get tired of going places and these officers pop that ring on them, brother. You know what I'm saying? They hit the table. You know, they can always hit the table with the other hand, but no. They got to hit the table with the ring hand. So we know that they graduated from somebody's school. I'm with you. What a proud accomplishment to do. I got you. But I went to the college of life. Okay? You don't graduate from the college of life. There's always a new lesson to be taught to you. Okay, I'm just saying. So I just remind you of doing that by remembering the oath of office of enlistment. And those guys, you know, especially naval officers. My God, naval officers are some of the most stuck-up officers I've ever ran into. And you know, and if I'm an enlisted man in the Navy, yeah, I think I'd quit and join the Air Force or something. Because those guys, they treat that. I was on the USS Kitty Hawk once, right? And you know, I was in maneuvers with the Marine Corps, and these guys, I'm down there in the galley, right, humping it. First of all, too small. Them ships are kind of, well, they're kind of big, but they always got close quarters, and when you in a ship with a bunch of folks on it, see, those guys work like 12-hour shift, right? 12 hours on, 12 hours on, whatever the case may be, or 24 hours. And so I'm sitting there, and I said, "Where my bed at?" I'm used to having a bunk, right? I'm used to having or a pup tent, whichever one I can get. So I'm going down, coming from the galley after working my butt off, looking for a bed. Well, there ain't no such thing as a bunk on a ship. No, 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 no. It was like a hammock, right? And here's which I've slept in worse things. But the problem with the hammock is that we got like 5 or 6 people from the floor to maybe 3 or 4 feet, and we got 5 or 6 people there, and they got their butt in your face. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just, and then they cut the wind. I don't know how they do it down there. But anyway, I'm just saying, I remember that brings back memories from being on that ship. Anyway, then I was stationed at Pearl Harbor, actually I was forward out. No, I tell you about all these stories one of these other day. See, y'all think I wasn't in there. I don't care what these folks say. Sergeant Elkins been a few places. Okay, I'm just saying. Anyway, so let's take a break, and we'll come back. Good morning, Christine. And we'll take it back because reciting that oath of enlistment just brought back a flood of memories. Okay, like when is chow? Okay, because I'm sitting down in the recruiting station at the MEP station in Atlanta, and I'm looking for something to eat. I didn't care. I really didn't care about that oath. All I do is they told me when I was at the recruiting station that day, because I had to hurry and get in there, that I was gonna get some free chow and all the milk I could drink. And that's the only reason why I joined. To tell you the truth, I needed the milk. I'm a milkaholic. Okay, not as much now as I used to be, but I can still put away a couple of gallons of milk a week. I mean, it's good stuff. All right. Anyway, so let's take a break, and we'll be back about the lessons of life and all these other things that I like to talk about, and whatever. I'm just thinking that over, officers. Really, some of them are really, really schizophrenic. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're beating to death so we can look at the ring. Like I didn't know what was going on there. Okay, at first I didn't really know what was going on. I just wondered why in the hell the guy keep beating against the table. Well, he wants you to see that ring, baby. See that. Okay, I saw it. Okay? Now, can you stop beating it now? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's just the way it was. Okay. So I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back now. I'll calm down and come back and give you the lessons of life and things that happen. Some of the things that happen on this day. Okay. That lieutenant just irked me. It's always a lieutenant. Now, in the Navy, they call lieutenant something else. Ensigns. Always those guys. There's a lieutenant in the Navy. It's a captain in the Army. But I'm just saying. And the captain in the Navy is a colonel in the Army. So anyway, they just brought back memories there. Pearl Harbor. So we'll be back. We gotta regain my composure. We'll be back.
again in some spots. Tonight, dry out late, but another chance of 40% of showers and storms tomorrow, highs in the mid-80s. That's your first forecast. I'm meteorologist Kyle Sealy for News Radio 40.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Sons Automotive, family owned, family driven on News Radio 1440.
You keep listening and we'll keep you posted with the latest Covers in Discount Plaza, from Roosevelt, GameStop, and more. Discount Plaza and free home about 85 of great equipment company development. But the law fits the law. The Montgomery Skywatch major delay.
Just when the upcoming release of Counter-Strike 2 couldn't be more exciting, Valve released the next wave of updates to the beta. Besides adding the fan favorite map Mirage, Valve released a ton of exciting new updates, including a reworked shop system. Fans praised the update for making improvements that seem to have taken inspiration from Counter-Strike's main competitor, Valorant. Counter-Strike looks to reclaim their fans that Valorant sold 2 years ago. With Valorant pros even ready to make the switch, will you be one of them?
Hi, this is Tom Latham, Pioneer in Concrete Technologies. For years, you've heard me talking about our concrete project, from stamp and pattern concrete to foundations for commercial manufacturing, driveways to commercial parking lots. We've been heavily invested in polished concrete for durable and inexpensive long-term service. What you may not know is we have equipment for clearing lots for construction, clearing and ridding land of scrub and underbrush. We cut roads, clear fence lines, clear pond dams, and pretty much any application where land is overgrown. We have mulchers that can grind underbrush into shreds and return it to nature for compost. Our equipment is minimally invasive, not including enough turning your property where additional grading might be necessary. To clean and clear your property, call Penny at 334-284-9292 and let us transform your overgrown property into a manageable and productive one. Check us out on Facebook at Transformers or call 334-284-9292.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking. I talked to my doctors and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Getting support from friends online kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
Instead of smoking after I ate, I would get up and take a walk.
Just having a cigarette in my hand, so I'd hold a pen or a straw, anything.
Until I knew I wouldn't give in to temptation, I spent more time with my friends who didn't smoke.
I was that was no killing. I didn't take it the very first time I tried. I kept on trying, and I loved my each time.
Do whatever it takes, no matter how many times it takes.
I quit.
I quit. I quit.
We did it. So can
We
you.
did it. So can you.
For free, call 1-800-2 and the services and CDC. That's most American. United Way, get involved with United Way. You guys can do it every time. Telling you. Show on News Radio 1440.
All righty then. Okay. You know, I actually believe I put the wrong date on my thing last week. See, I must have been tired. I put the wrong date on my thing. I do this anyway. Well, maybe the first time that ever happened, I put the wrong date. I put March the 21st rather than June the 21st. Not bad. Okay then. Well, you know, those things happen. Let me see if I can find the day Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. No, not gonna do that right now. I'll do that right now. Okay, because if I don't do it right now, I won't get it done. Okay. I don't know how I did such a thing. Let me see that. Let me see. Okay, that is it June? It is June, right? It's June the 21st. Okay. I didn't watch that last night. I was okay. Okay. So I don't know how that happened, but it it did. Yeah. Okay, I tell you. One of those things that happen. Okay, no, that's not it either. Okay then. Okay, let me see. Okay. Here we go right there. Okay. I don't know what happened to me. I guess I'm a bit sleepy last night. Okay, I found it. I got it. But before we get to that, we must give you the um, word of the day and the lessons of life today that I will make a little bit here. Okay, anyway, so the word of the day means boldness or daring, especially with confidence or arrogant disregard for personal safety, conventional thought, or other restrictions. Okay, what word did I just describe? I'll give it to you one more time. Here is the definition of the word: boldness or daring, especially with confidence of arrogant disregard for one's personal safety. Conventional thought, okay? So, what word is that? Well, you will hear this word every once in a while. I'll use it because some people just, are just grandiose in your ideology, okay? And the word of the day is audacity. You have the unmitigated gall and audacity to talk to me like that. That's what it means. Boldness or daring. That's when I'm your boss. Okay, then. The word is audacity. Audacity. Look it up. Audacity. Now, the lesson of life today is an interesting one. Everybody, does anybody know where today comes from? And remember where it goes after it stops becoming today? It stops being today. Anybody know? Let me check. Because you probably never thought of it. You probably never thought of it. And I'm gonna give it to you. At one time, I want you to think of this is gonna be philosophically intimidating. But you can get this because my audience is smarter than I am. So you can get this. At one time, all todays were once tomorrow. That will become yesterday. So why am I telling you this? Because we shouldn't waste any of them on things that really don't matter. Again, at one time, all today, were at one time tomorrow. That became yesterday. So don't waste any of them on things that really don't matter. Or else you'll find all your tomorrows yesterday without doing anything. Okay? So don't wait on tomorrow, do it today. All right? Because tomorrow may never come. Okay, now again, I'm gonna give you that one more again. At one time, all today were once tomorrow. That became at some point they will become yesterday. So cherish your todays that once were tomorrow. Because once they become yesterday, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. So think about that for a second. I know that's deep. That's probably too deep for like 6 o'clock in the morning. But if you get it, you'll be all right. Okay? If you understand where I'm coming from on that, you'll be all right. Okay? It is June the 21st. Okay? On this day, in 1377, King Edward III died after ruling England for 50 years. He was succeeded by his grandson, Richard II. Not that I really care, but okay. In 1834, Cyrus Hall McCormick received a patent for his reaping machine. The year was 1942. German forces led by General Albert, or Colonel General is what they call him, Erwin Rommel, captured the Libyan city of Tripoli during World War II. Rommel was promoted to the rank of field marshal. Tripoli was retaken by the Allies in November 1942. An Imperial Japanese submarine fired ships at Fort Stevens on the Oregon coast, causing little damage. In 1973, the U.S. Supreme Court in Miller v. California ruled that states may ban materials found to be obscene according to local standards. Now, this right here is the problem we have, like in Prattville. Hope somebody's awake over there, because you know you keep going for your city council and they don't have the gonads down there to do things. 1973, the United States Supreme Court, Miller versus California, ruled that states may ban materials found to be obscene according to local standards. Okay, so now the next time you go in front of one of these city council meetings, say, why do we have these in the library? Why do we have these books in the library for our kids? Okay, you tell them about this 1973 U.S. Supreme Court, Miller versus California, and yeah, watch them squirm. Yeah, okay, and it says according to local standards, which means Prattville, Montgomery has a right to set standards for their community. Okay, I'm just saying. So you don't have to go with Harry, and Sally, you know, in the back door of the schoolhouse. I'm just saying, you might not have that book in your library. I'm just telling you, you might want to do it. So in 1973, the U.S. Supreme Court, Miller versus California, ruled that states may ban materials found to be obscene according to local standards. I got it right there. So Bradley has the right to have its standards. Montgomery has the right to have ours. I don't know what ours are. I mean, I don't know any kind of book you want to. 1977, Menachem Begin of the Likud bloc became Israel's sixth prime minister. 1982, a jury in Washington, D.C. found him Jr. not guilty by the reason of insanity, restriction of President Ronald Reagan and 3 other men. The thing I don't understand about it, insanity always works when you're crazy. I mean, how come insanity don't work for doing something good? Why do you give up? You're just insane. No. It's always when you do rotten things that get you out of it. They say you're insane. How come we don't have a disease that makes you do all good all day long? I don't understand that. So you can only be insane when you do bad things. Okay. I get it. Anyway, 1988, who framed Roger Rabbit? I've never been a Roger Rabbit. Comedy fantasy starring Bob Hoskins that combined live action and legendary animated cartoon characters premiered in New York. The year was 1989. A sharply divided Supreme Court ruled that burning the American flag as a form of political protest was protected by the First Amendment. It took me a long time to get on board with this idea, but you know what? After some cogitation and some deep philosophical thought, I agree with that. Okay? We live in a country that if you want to tell your government up yours, unless you Trump and the guys in January 6th, then you can't do it up there, but then they want to put you in jail for what they're using. This is something, this is what the crap. But according to this, you know, you can tell your government up there. I mean, I'm just saying. 1989 is you know, that speech is protected by the First Amendment. Okay, you burn the flag and all that stuff, but you know, go to Washington D.C. and you have to do it. But we pay for it. I'm just saying. 2001, the federal grand jury in Alexandria, Virginia, indicted 13 Saudis and 11 Lebanese from Astucia for the 1996 bombing of the Khobar Towers in Saudi Arabia that killed 19 American servicemen. Death claim actor Carol O'Connor at the age of 76, and blues musician John Lee Hooker at the age of 80. And in 2002, one of the worst wildfires in Arizona history grew up to 128,000 acres, forcing thousands of homeowners near the community of Sholo to flee. 2013, President Barack Obama nominated James Comey. That's when all the treachery began. She didn't mean to break the law. Now she didn't mean to break the law, but she did break the law. Well, but she didn't mean to, so therefore, Your Honor, I didn't mean to go 100 miles an hour. Okay, so poor people and rich people is a two-tier system, as we saw yesterday with the president's son. All the crap that boy done done, and yet and still he gets a slap on it. Okay, he got to slap all the money he stole, didn't pay no taxes on. They come after us for a whole lot less money than that. 7 years the boy didn't pay no taxes. Okay, and he gets slap on the hand. Hey, it is what it is. You can't even say it. He can slap on the hand because his daddy is president of the United States. What did he get there? He going to jail. Exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's a two-tier justice. Always has been. Always has been. Always will be. That's just the way it is in America. If I didn't see it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it. Yeah. Of course, money does. Even money you don't pay. 14 years ago, Newsweek reported Nazir Bahari, or close to it, was among hundreds of people arrested during a Tehran government crackdown on nationwide protests over Iran's disputed presidential election. Yeah, well, okay, they don't really do this there. They just put us in jail and tell us that we were insurrection. Okay. 9 years ago, an armed South Korean soldier fled after killing 5 of his comrades and wounding 7 at an outpost near the North Korean border. The soldier identified Sergeant Liam was captured 2 days later. Gary Collins, who was unjustly imprisoned again for an Irish Republican Army killing inspired by the Oscar-nominated film In the Name of the Father, died in Belfast. And 5 years ago, First Lady Melania Trump visited the migrant children during a youth stop at a Texas facility, housing some children separated from their parents at the border. She caused a stir when she left Washington wearing a green hooded military jacket, and the lettering that said, I really don't feel that. Full of surprise when conservative columnist and pundit Charles Krauthammer died at the age of 68. Okay, he said earlier that he was being treated for a tumor in his abdomen, and that's just some of the things that happened on this day. Also, we do have a here we go. Okay, we do have there's some things that are celebrated today. As soon as I get to them, down here, I think they are. Oh, it's Deer Day. Don't do it, though. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't want to read about you tomorrow. Dinosaur Day. I don't believe there ever has been a dinosaur. They're lying to us. When I see a video, I think it's a con. Yeah, I don't believe it. Never have. Never seen it. Let me see one. Okay. Don't give up the ship day. Unless you happen to be on that thing down there in the ocean trying to visit the Titanic, you might want to give that one up. I hope those guys get out of there. Flip a coin day. I don't know what that means, but it means. What else is going on today? Global Day of Parents. Parent is overrated. Intergenerational Day, whatever that means. That means you can go to your granddad and say, that means a good old day. Good day, I can't remember. National Billboard Day. National Go Barefoot Day. So today, show up for work with no shoes on. Okay, so a couple of months ago, we had Go to Work Naked Day. Now we got Barefoot Day. I'm thinking, I guess Naked day means take everything off but your shoes. The day you can take the shoes off and keep your clothes on. I guess I'm looking. National Hazelnut Cake Day. Never had one, probably no one. National Hamlet Maneuver Day. Hamlet Maneuver. Anyway, that's when you're choking. That's what they do. They give you that. Okay. National Roman Noodle Day. I don't know what that is. National, here's one. National Say Something Nice Today.
Nice shirt, Kevin. Say something nice.
Yeah, okay. All right then. Anyway, so that's it. Those are the things that are going on today. It is 6:58 in the morning. We'll be back. You heard Donald. Donald, the apologist for the Bidens. So we'll be back in a little bit.
Good morning, Kevin. Love that hat, boy. Nice cap you have.
Yeah, they told me in 1987 I wanted it back. But in 1987, I was wearing a United States Army hat. So
okay.
I didn't get a chance to wear this one.
Okay. So you held it since 1987?
No, I did that. I just bought it last year.
Wear your throwback. Okay. That's fine. It'll be okay. Everything will be okay then. The elk man. So how things been going?
Oh, cannot complain. Got the wake up call.
They got the wake up call.
So that was pretty good.
There you go. And that's a good thing.
Got me a TV here now.
Yeah, I see the TV over there.
What's good is the TV though if I can't hear it. I can hear it, but can't hear it while you're talking. So.
Well, you have the you don't have closed caption, huh?
Oh, you know, but I'm probably gonna need the I'm probably gonna need the I'm probably gonna.
You got it on the remote. Just hit close.
This is a Fire Stick remote.
Oh,
I need the TV remote.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's what I need to do.
Yeah, then you can read what's going on.
I'm Jennifer Rodriguez. America is weighing in on abortion a year after the Supreme Court
got to take care of some business this morning.
CBS
Someone
News
made a
Director of
mistake.
Elections and Surveys Anthony
Made a
Salvanto
mistake.
has the results of our just released poll.
Half of people think things have become
Well, did you enjoy Juneteenth?
more restrictive than
Yeah, they are.
had expected.
57% say the decision
We have a nice little
mostly
celebration of it.
I just feel bad that the other brothers are still in slavery when everybody else is sort of kind of free. But I don't know, hell, being broke and being free is about the same thing.
Well,
I mean, you got nothing.
well,
New York State Legislature.
you know, that was part too. You know, in the proclamation, it said, stay where you are. John Brain said, stay where you are, and you will be paid for your labor. That was part two. That's what raised most of the ruckus about it, really. That's when the KKK came out. You do know what I mean, they talk about it so much, but a lot of people don't even know what it is, actually. It was when General Granger, under the direction of the president, said, look, we got too many, because the slaves were following the Union Army because they weren't free in the Confederate territory because the Confederates wouldn't give them their freedom. They said officially, by order of the president, since you lost the war, these men are free. That's that part. And to them, he said, stay in place and you will be paid for your labor for his law. That's what. You don't often hear people talk about that part. But that's what it was. It was a proclamation because the Emancipation Proclamation had already said that all individuals in Confederate states would be free. So he reiterated.
But are you really free if you're broke?
Well,
if you ain't got nothing, nothing to go with.
And that was part of the Freedmen's Act. And then when Johnson came
Right,
in,
and
that changed.
right, they came in 1865. That's right.
See, when Johnson, you had the Freedmen's Act, but then the Democrats fought against. That was when
That's right, Democrats. That's right.
Yeah, that's Dixiecrats.
The Wall Street Journal says Casa Encantada in Los Angeles is on the market for a potentially record-setting $240 million. It measures 40,000 square feet and sits on 8.5 acres. It was built almost 100 years ago. Former owners include Conrad Hilton and Dole Foods billionaire David Murdoch. The current occupant, financier Gary Winnick, says the house is like a Pollock or a Picasso, a work of art in its own league. This is CBS News.
Need hires who dazzle without the hassle? You need Indeed. Their powerful platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
This is an urgent announcement for anyone that's $10,000 or more in debt. Before you make another minimum payment, you need to know there are special programs that can completely free you of your debt. Total Financial Freedom can help you become debt-free in months instead of years. Resolve your credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and timeshares. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-208-1312 for a free consultation. For 16 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get out of debt. You can feel confident when calling because Total Financial Freedom is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. Battling for years and years, stuck in the endless cycle of minimum payments could take decades. You have the right to get your debt resolved and substantially reduce your monthly payments. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-208-1312. That's 800-208-1312. 800-208-1312. Call now.
Ever consider moving to Ireland?
What I'm telling you, your brother's there was one that playing football, whatever he's playing. What's he doing now? I think they have a little boy going to one of those highfalutin schools, St. Matthew's or something.
No,
Yeah. So what's he
not a
doing?
highfalutin school. This guy has a private school.
What's he doing now?
He's a assistant manager at Office Depot.
Okay.
And the other one works at
Who invited this
what
guy
is
to
it?
the NBA?
He works at manufacturing.
I used to suggest people go to the military. I'll do that.
Well, I mean, both of them have to make a decent salary, and I mean, it's no one but them. Yeah, they have. It's three of them. They have an apartment. And, the three of them are all working, and they're responsible young men. And Ben called me one day. He said, Donald, he said, I had a beer for the first time. He had his first beer. He said, but I didn't like it. He said, but I don't get it. You know, they all went out to dinner, and before their dinner was coming, the other guy said, good morning. The other guy said, go ahead and try a beer. And he tried it. He didn't drink the whole thing. So
I ain't missing that.
Not really. Well, first of all, he had the strongest, one of the strongest beers you can get, the Budweiser. So that's, the Red King. That's the strongest. The Bud Light is just Budweiser with water added. You do know that, right?
I don't know that.
It's just less alcohol and more water.
Yeah.
So they're doing fine.
It looks like pee to me. That's why I never drank it.
Some of it looks like tea. According which one you? Oh, that's why you didn't drink. So you don't drink lemonade?
It looks kind of like pee too, but I don't. As long as you say lemonade, I'll drink it.
Well, you just never had beer. That's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
Acquired it.
There are many things we do that we have to acquire a taste for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just acquired. I'm not born with it. Don't have to have it.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to my music here. So you know. Okay, I don't know what happened. I mean, just Bob Skaggs, man. Bob Skaggs is the man. But anyway, okay. Well, I guess it just don't like itself today. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Hope this day finds everybody well. It is a Wednesday morning. Believe it or not, the week's going by fast. I thought it was Friday today. I almost didn't get up. The alarm went up. I said, I'm off today. Then all of a sudden it hit me. No, if I don't want to make that a permanent off, I better get up and go to work. So that's what I did. Now, people don't call this a job. Listen, it is a job. Anytime you have to be somewhere at a certain time, and if you ain't there, they say all bad things about you. It's a job. Okay, it's a tough job. some days to me. Look what I got to do this morning. I have to get on Donald about defending the Bidens.
I'm not defending the Bidens.
Hunter ought to be in jail.
Why?
For all that 7 years of not paying one tax.
Okay. So
if you and I did that, they come after.
No, it's a plea deal, just like.
Well, yeah, right.
The
Right.
only reason we hear about his plea deal
right.
is because his father is the president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
It's a simple case of where you have a drug addicted individual who's irresponsible and didn't pay those taxes. He repaid the taxes. He admitted and takes responsibility. So what more can you do?
Well, I'm trying.
What would you do?
Okay, why would you get millions of dollars to sit on a board on a foreign country's board and you know nothing about the business?
Look, there are people who get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to boards and they know nothing about the business.
Name
you know
one.
why?
Name one.
Because
name one.
I'm not going to name.
Because he didn't have any. He didn't have. There are certain people.
Well, let me ask you this: what does that look? Because of who he is, there are people who are celebrities who are on boards and they're only there because of who they are. Okay,
which is good. But they bring some to the table.
I tell you a good one, that good family that's good at that. It's called Trump.
Trump got money.
Okay,
Biden didn't have no money.
He don't have any money.
Right.
He has a name.
No.
He's a brand.
Right. And he got money now too.
I guarantee you, Donald Trump has more debt than he does have assets.
But don't we all?
No.
Well, not you, because you broke.
That's well, I'm not broke. I just don't have debt.
Okay.
It's a difference.
Yeah.
If you have debt,
yeah,
then you have a problem. You have to pay it at some point. The United States of America has debt.
You're right.
But see, and here's my point. And see, you throw in a lot of different things.
Yeah.
What we're talking about is that one thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have a young man.
Gun charges.
And what? And so what?
Mm-hmm.
So what?
Oh, listen, I like.
He pleaded guilty, and you know what?
He'll
do what any other. And you know, look, there are a lot of movie stars, athletes, and all these people that have these problems. There are guys that play in the NBA and NFL.
Sure. None of us are perfect.
That have
part.
done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And because all they are is they're just, as long as you admit I have a problem. Now, if you have a drug problem and you don't admit it and you keep on doing these things, then you deserve to go to jail. So you're just irresponsible. But he's just like any other young man that has gotten caught up in the drug game where he's addicted.
If his name was Elkins, he'd be in jail.
If he was Elkins and broke, yeah. But his name was Elkins and he had a similar financial situation. He was able to pay the money back.
So it's a two-tier system. It is.
In a way, it is. Yeah. But if you're poor, you can't afford to pay for. Because if you were poor, you couldn't afford to pay the money back.
I thought that woman on that little legal thing had the blindfold on. They lied to it. I think it's see-through.
Justice is blind.
Yeah. I think it's see-through.
It's blind if you can pay for it.
Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
Good morning, sir.
All right there, Mr. Ed. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, sir. Yes. That's true. Right. Wesley Snipes went to prison. Mm-hmm. Right. I think you're comparing apples and oranges now. If you have a man who has been found guilty of something, then and who has admitted doing wrong, and he's going to trial. Now hasn't he admitted doing wrong? Trump has admitted he did something wrong, right? And let's take, since you brought Trump in there, and I'm talking about people love to, you're comparing apples to oranges. What Donald Trump has done is illegal, improper, and he should pay for it because he is not saying, okay, I take responsibility. Hunter Biden has taken responsibility. He said he's taken responsibility for his drug use. He's taken responsibility for not paying his taxes. He paid it, and he's done. Now, what the prosecution does with that, it doesn't matter. But here you have a man, you brought him up now, who says, I had a right to do what I did. And the United States government is telling him, no, you didn't have the right to do what you did. So do you agree with him or not? Did he have the right to do what he did? Donald Trump. Okay, so now, see, when you brought it up, see, now Trump is in the same situation.
Let the man finish.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Well, he has made a deal, and there are plea deals all the time. There are people who have been killers and have done plea deals with the government. And there's one guy I know for a fact that he was a killer, and he was put in a witness protection system, and he lives in Atlanta right now. There are plea deals all the time with the federal government, and that's what he took. He took a plea deal, right? So there's a plea, okay, and that's a plea bargain. That's why they call it a bargain. He got a bargain. So. Okay, so right now, since you brought it up, and I'll say it again, when we talk about Trump and we're talking about Hunter Biden, we're talking about two entirely different things. You have an individual who has done something wrong, and everyone knows it's wrong, and there are people who are trying to give an excuse for it. But if he does serve time, and that forces judge, they're going to have to prosecute him and give him time because he is saying, I did wrong, I don't care that I did wrong, and you can do nothing to me. So he will serve sometime.
That
A
man
former
ain't
president.
Man ain't said nothing like that.
Look,
he didn't say nothing like that.
What do you mean he didn't say that?
He didn't say anything like that.
He said I had a right to do what I did.
And how do we know that he didn't?
And that's where we are now. The law says he didn't have the right to do it. That's what the law says. No, you can't, sir. That's a plea bargain.
Yeah.
That's one individual who happens, and you know, and I think this will happen because he's the son of the president of the United States, who is a Democrat. There will be a Republican opinion and a Democrat opinion. I'm an independent voter. I know this, that there are people who have money and have the means and have reputations that they will have a different set of justice, because I know that for a fact, because there are people who can pay to get out, who happen whether they're black, white, or Republican, and for whatever reason they are not. This is a case is because his biggest thing right now is he's Joe Biden's son.
And he's a crook.
No.
He's a crook.
He's just a drug addict. Crook. Okay, well, we'll call him a crook then. But if his father wasn't president of the United States, we wouldn't even know about it.
He'd be in jail. Right.
No, he doesn't get an automatic pass.
Yes, he is. He's getting an automatic pass. He's not going to jail.
Well, like
everybody else would go to jail.
Like I said, because of this case is being blown up because he's the son of the president.
He should have thought about that before he did all
drug
this
addicts
stuff.
don't think about that.
Okay.
He's a drug addict.
All right, appreciate it. Good morning, who's this? This is he. Listen, I'm saying treat everybody the same. If he did something wrong, Hunter Biden did something wrong, just treat everybody the same.
But he took a plea bargain. So Trump hasn't even taken a plea bargain.
Yeah. Yeah. But let me ask you a question here. First of all, for 4 years, they lied on the man. Absolutely lied on him, saying he was a... Wait. No, that's not an opinion. That's what Durham report said. 4 years, the guy couldn't be president because all they did was say he was a spy for the Russians.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
It's a lie.
Look, watch this. I'll give you that. Okay, let's talk about today.
What about today?
You know what? The past is a memory.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
It's past.
We're talking about right now.
Yeah. Right.
We have a man who took a plea bargain, and you're comparing a plea bargain to a man who admits on television in front of millions of people that he did something wrong.
Well, so did
Biden.
Biden.
Because
So did
Brett
Biden.
Baird told him, no, he didn't. But you keep saying Biden.
He said he took a plea bill. He
took
admitted to what he did.
No, he didn't. He's
Oh,
saying
he
he
did.
had the right to do wrong. He said, under the Presidential Act, I had the right to do it.
Okay.
That's his words now.
Well, yeah. Well,
Okay.
listen, all I'm saying, everybody.
He's just dumb.
Everybody. Well, listen,
No,
Hunter
Hunter Biden is smart. Go ahead, take a plea bargain. See, give him credit. Hunter Biden
listen,
took a
I
plea
wouldn't want
bargain.
to go to jail either. I would take a deal they gave him. Trump does talk too much. He just does.
He's telling you, in other words, he has the case for the prosecution in his mouth.
Yeah.
He keeps putting it out.
There he does.
Why do you think all of his lawyers keep quitting? Okay.
Okay. Now let me ask you something. What do you think about all the young men in prison for doing exactly the same thing that Hunter Biden did, and less?
Take one case at a time. Like I
What about all the brothers in there?
Look. It is a two-tier system.
Okay.
It always has been. There are guys who are in prison for selling less crack, cocaine, than a guy that sells cocaine. Is that
true.
fair? Okay. Let's not compare every injustice as the same. I don't believe it's just that a person who has
What did Martin Luther King said? Injustice anywhere
is injustice everywhere. And that's true. But let's stick to what we're talking about. What we're doing here, if we're going to compare, let's compare.
Hey, everybody else gets the Woody, and he ain't getting the Woody.
Okay. So are you mad for that?
Well, I mean, I don't want the Woody either.
Here you have. He took a plea bargain. He said, I was wrong. I did wrong. Okay. And what the prosecution said, well, okay, we'll give you this.
You know he wasn't going to jail, no.
Okay. Okay. Now here we have, since you all brought Trump up,
yeah,
and you keep bringing Trump up, you say they're lying on him
because they lied on the guy for 4 years.
Are they lying on him now?
Well, see, I don't know about the presidential.
I don't know.
I don't know what the Presidential Papers Act. I don't know whether or not he has the ability to declassify these things.
He said himself he didn't declassify.
Oh, well, then
he said that.
Listen,
he said that. Now he said, I did not classify it. He is on tape saying, I did not classify these papers here. He held them up in his hand, and there are witnesses, and all the witnesses say, hey. He held them up and said, I did not classify these.
He didn't take his medication. Good morning, who's this? Good morning.
Okay. Yes, sir. Look, sir. Hold on. I'm not going to argue about it.
You brought it up now.
Look, I brought it up. In other words, Go ahead, Forbes magazine. Go ahead. That's what they know of. But here's the difference, sir. And here's common sense. If you are a billionaire, you don't have to ask anyone for any money. We had a billionaire who ran for the office, but he did not receive any money from. He didn't ask for it. Okay. Now, if you're a billionaire, you don't have to ask for people to fundraise.
Why not spend everybody else's money?
You know why? Because that way you can concentrate. Because look, let me tell you something. If you're a billionaire, you don't have to ask for money. Okay, that's very simple. He does. How do you know, sir? How do you know? How do you know? You read something, and all that can tell you is the assets that they know of.
Okay. Well, listen. Donald don't like Trump.
Hey, here's the deal, and you will find we will find out once he the reason you have to ask for money is because you don't have money.
No, why not spend everybody else's money? Why spend your own?
He doesn't have it. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. That means I'm a smart ass.
All right, then. Listen, I gotta go to a break. We'll be back after this.
He just gave me a compliment. Didn't know it. Oh man. Oh, you Trump lovers. I love it. It's fun. Fun time in the city.
Ready to take control of your phone plan?
You love Trump.
You better take that next turn to a Verizon store.
I think for a 77-year-old man, he just says things and does things.
Get my plan
or any age, he said this is nothing new. He has said that all the time. Okay. He has done that all the time.
But I've never seen a man despised as much as Donald Trump by people who are jealous of him.
They're not jealous of him. You know what? You know what? Let me tell you this. No, when I first heard of Donald Trump, when my brother was drafted by the Los Angeles Invaders, and during that time, Donald Trump had the New Jersey Generals. Mm-hmm. And what they did is Donald Trump talked them into suing the NFL because of the commercials they were getting, commercial rights. They wanted to make it equal, the USFL equal. So they followed him. They said, oh, this billionaire knows what he's talking about. Okay. So all those teams, what they did, they had all these guys that they had brought to all these cities. And while they were litigating the case, they'd given them jobs, a lot of them jobs. There were only about 4 guys that were guaranteed salaries from that. It was Doug Flutie, Herschel Walker. It was like 4 guys in the whole league, that only 4 that were in, I think it's like only 4 but it was very few, but that's 4 I know of. But the rest of them, the places got them jobs because you're not playing now, and we brought you here, and we said we're going to pay you, so we got your job. That's how my brother ended up in Los Angeles. And so from there, when that case went through, and I kept up with it because I asked my brother, what's going on now? What they doing? And the other people who we were all interested, the group of us were interested in, because we're looking to see my brother playing in the Los Angeles Invaders. He's going to start and everything. And what happened when the case,
football team?
Yeah, the USFL. Because they had the Birmingham Stallions, the Los Angeles Invaders. You remember when it was the Birmingham Stallions?
Isn't that league started up again?
That's another version of it.
Barlow,
but they're trying it different.
Yeah.
But let me cut to the chase. What I said was that's how I knew who he was and what he was about, and when he was a con man. And what it was, he didn't care about the rest of them. He wanted to have the New Jersey Generals to be an NFL team. He wanted to be an expansion team. That was the whole big deal, and everybody figured out what he was really trying to do, because that's why he had Herschel Walker. But what he did in that lawsuit, he pulled them in as a class action with all of them. But he was just concerned about himself and didn't care for league code. He wanted the Generals to be one of the New Jersey.
I him for that. Okay, but
here's what happened.
Yeah.
After they presented that case, and everybody saw it was a con. He won.
Well, you say con, he was looking out of his own interest.
Hold up, watch this. He won the lawsuit. Because they said, okay, yeah, the NFL does have a monopoly on this. And they said, and the jury awarded, how much they awarded him? And I think it was Pete Rozelle at the time was the commissioner. Pete Rozelle, because it was in the New York Times and stuff. And it was in quotation marks. When the judge gave the verdict, and he gave what he would award, he gave him an award of $1. Pete Rozelle went over to Donald Trump and gave him $1 out of his pocket and said, "You will never have a team in the NFL. You crook." And that was it. And now look it up. This is in New York. That was in the paper then. That's why I kept with it. So what happened then? The league folded. Then he got Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker got his money. Okay, but everybody else, no one else on the team got any money, and all the teams.
I assume they knew that when they went over there. Though.
No, they didn't know. They were so that's when, because he presented himself as it, and he's always said he was a billionaire. And then when you get into it, there was a 21-page article about the myth of Donald Trump. That's where I got it from. I read all 21 pages on it, and he was in debt for 10 years to pay back taxes for 10 years. Now, the way he came back is like that plane. He doesn't own that plane. He owns the rights to that plane. That's not his personal property. That plane that he had, Trump plane. But the series, what was that? The Apprentice? That's when he came back, because he made a lot of money. He made millions of dollars off of The Apprentice, because they paid to use his place, they paid to use his plane, and therefore he was able to. Why do you think he didn't pay taxes? It's because he didn't have any money to pay the taxes. That's why he didn't pay it. He was in debt. That's how I know.
And good morning, everybody. It is a Wednesday. Donald Jenkins is here, like he is the first and third Wednesday, and always has a unique perspective on life. On things. 860-14-4 is our number here. You can text me 241-9998. It's who's holding on the longest here. Good morning. Who's this? Pretty good. How are you? You agree or disagree, guy?
Well, I agree partially with him on the statement that if Hunter Biden wasn't the son of the president, he wouldn't be charged the same. I agree with that. There's no doubt about that. and on the charges of Donald Trump. The charges that he's facing now, that's a big deal that could serve time, is the Presidential Papers Act.
They're going to pardon him. They're going to pardon him.
Well, that is a possibility. Whoever is the next president may. But I don't think you can't pardon Donald Trump because he's different. He's different because he doesn't admit he lost the race, right?
I don't admit he lost.
So
it
if
either.
a person never admits to wrong, because he's the very same man who sat on that Christian program, and the guy asked him, he said, "Do you ask the Lord for forgiveness?" He said, "No, I don't need forgiveness." He himself said that. That is the most dangerous person in the world. If a person believes that they never have to have forgiveness, that is the most dangerous person in the world. That means they are amoral. They do nothing wrong.
Okay. Good morning,
He's
on there.
a very dangerous man.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you this morning? Go ahead.
Yeah. Right on. Yes. I always like to talk to the sergeant major. Yeah. Good. Outstanding. You know, I love it. I love for him to come up here and talk to us. I would have no problem with that at all. What day of the week is that? What day of the week is that? What day is the week? What day of the week is that? Well, look on the map. Look on the map, man. Oh yeah, that's a Tuesday. You know, yeah, that's because there's certain days I don't have guests, but that's a Tuesday. That's cool. What am I back? What two old paratroopers getting together? Why am I back out of that, brother?
There you go.
Why am I back out of that for? Yeah, I love to talk to him. Yeah. Doug Singleton is not in the country at the moment. I can't answer that. Well, he's taking care of some business for the county. Well, now, I don't know how the pay-in is going, but I know he's taking care of some official business for the county, my young man. You know, I'm still waiting on that. I'm still waiting on that. Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. I'm ignorant to those things. Okay.
Yeah. This is your story. You tell it. I'm not answering any questions. This is your story. You tell. You said you're going to straighten me out. So you tell the story. Okay. Okay. Okay, go ahead. You're telling the story now. You're reading this, and you're proving me wrong, and that's not my issue here. If you think that I'm wrong and you have the proof in front, go ahead. Okay, go ahead. And that's not the only charge that he has. That's not just the only charge. It's 37 counts in there. It's 37. Read every 30. What are all 37? And do any of those 37 involve prison? It's 37 counts, sir. Of those 37 counts, do you read them all? Since you're reading that, read the 37 counts.
Okay, we agree, Donald. It's 37 counts.
It's 37 counts.
We don't need to hear that one no more. We know it's 30. Yeah, we got you. Yeah.
Oh, so the 37 counts is what he's being charged with, sir.
It's
not just one. You name one of.
It's kind of like getting stopped by the police and getting 14 charges on one stop.
No.
Yeah. Your lights are out. So they can charge all at once. Yeah.
No. Read all of the charges, sir. If you're going to say that I'm wrong, read all of the charges and then say that I'm wrong.
Well, go ahead, man. Okay.
What are the charges? You are. I said my question. You questioned me. I said, what are the charges?
Okay. Well, I don't want to hear the charges. I just want to hear what else you got to say. Yeah.
You, sir.
Oh, and that's right. Biden had him too. That's
Sir.
right. Biden had him too.
Sir.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What are the charges? What are the charges?
Wait. Biden had documents his house.
No. This is him telling
but
me
he
I'm
had
wrong.
He Biden his
But
house.
what are the charges?
They can charge a ham
If you're telling
sandwich.
me I'm wrong, what am I wrong of?
I've got the other call. Good morning. Who's this?
I still haven't heard it.
This is he. Yes. That's 4 years ago. Now give me on something else. That's 4 years ago. All right. 5 years ago. I know, but let's talk about now. I don't want to talk about what he said 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. 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 No, that's a promise.
No, that's a threat.
That's a promise, and I think you should. I think you should put them all in jail.
And that's against the Constitution itself too.
Yeah, brother. Yeah. Well, what's that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. And so, so let me ask you a question. Okay, so let me ask you one question here, real quick. When Mr. Biden was the vice president of the United States under Obama, he went to a foreign country and threatened their attorney general and told him that. So every time we bring something up about Biden, it doesn't matter.
Finish your statement.
Yeah. Okay, bro. Okay.
Finish your statement, Kevin.
All right, bro. All right. Okay. 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 All right. Well, now I don't know. I just wish he just shut up sometimes. But you know, yeah. They misused that man in office like he was a rag. They did. Okay. Well, that's the kind of guy I like. I like the guys willing to fight with the people. And look where we are in America today.
And where are we?
Yeah. Hey, he didn't say nothing like that. He didn't say nothing like that. 7:41 in the morning. Good morning. Who's this? Simplify, brother. Simplify. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Now, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that you were somewhere dreaming. And that didn't happen exactly that way. Yeah. Yeah. Listen. Listen. You listen. Okay. Listen. You listen. I want to yes, sir. Yeah. Listen. Are you in? Well, let me. Are you in? Right. Let me. Are you in Montgomery right now? Okay. VA is open. I'm just saying. It's open. Yeah.
It's open.
All right then. I gotta take my last break an hour. We'll be back right after these quick commercial breaks. Somebody's got to pay my salary.
First alert weather forecast.
Man, time flies when you're having fun. Why you say the VA is open? I need to go to you're wrong, man.
Summer officially begins today, but it will actually be the coolest day on our 7-day forecast. Temperatures in the low 80s, thanks to a lot of cloud cover and on and off showers, downpours, and thunderstorms. Severe weather is not expected today, but a few instances of flooding is certainly possible given the rain that's going to fall over and over again in some spots. For tonight, we dry out late, but another chance, a lower chance, 40% of showers and storms tomorrow, highs in the mid-80s. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Sons Automotive, family owned, family driven on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. We talked about it earlier being slow. Now we understand there's an accident there, Northeast Boulevard at Lagoon Park. Keep your eyes open if you're heading in that direction. Outside of that, we're looking good. Looking at your traffic flows, no big backups on the interstates. That's always good news. 231 South running slow at Redland Road, but that's congestion and the traffic light issue. That's good news. Keep listening. We'll keep you posted. From a simple patient transport to life and death situations, Haines Ambulance is there for you, both on the ground and in the air. Haines Ambulance, ready at a moment's notice. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
Every day you breathe in thousands of tiny little germs, allergens, and viruses. Don't let these invisible invaders make breathing through your nose impossible. Flush them out with Navage. I'm Martin Hope, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction, full saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nose, helping flush out everything.
Yeah, you
the hardest thing about this job is getting up early in the morning.
Hey, well, you do a good job. You make it interesting. I get some I get some good comments and some bad comments afterwards every day.
Well, if everybody thinking the same, somebody ain't thinking.
So we'll meet today, and because I have a group that's listening.
Tim, I'll be over there.
Yeah, come on.
Tim,
come on back. Come on back. Because you met some of them.
How's John doing? Okay.
Okay, call me the other day about
Next up,
situation.
straight talk from Doug.
So I had to tell him I told him.
Noticed that saying no offense
I'll tell you
is
what.
offensive. No offense, but you're overpaying for your wireless. See? Offense.
That's the Straight Talk Talking. Get a new plan as low as $35 a month with Straight Talk and America's most reliable.
Which one? 'Cause the one.
Not all of them. I told you that all of them. Look, all of them. But well, when I was, you know what? When I was president, see, is what the administration does. Because when we gave them a legislation on those sign ordinance, shoot, they don't pay any attention now. It's enforcement on everything. If they don't pay you any attention,
although what's saying gonna get a new principal?
Lee.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is Juliet Purse, whatever they call it now.
Yeah.
And from
Percy LaVon Jr.
Right.
You know, I think everyone needs to do a paper. You know what? We need to, or you need to offer. Let me tell you what you do. It'll be good if you offered an essay contest on Percy LaVon Jr. and the winner of that contest would receive an X prize. That would be a good one for you there, because you know you've never heard of him, right?
No, I had never heard.
Okay, but if people knew who Percy LaVon Jr. was, they say, "Oh wow," because you know it's like this guy that complains all the time about the companies not paying for him for his invention. Well, Percy LaVon Jr. sued DuPont and several of the big corporations and got paid for his invention from the company that he worked for. Then he started his own company. He became a millionaire. And his son became a famous civil rights lawyer in Chicago. He moved from Montgomery to Chicago. As a matter of fact, he received it. He went to Harvard in I think it was engineering and chemistry or biology, one of them, and received a scholarship to Vienna. He got his PhD in Vienna.
On News Radio 1440.
Right here in Montgomery.
And we are back. 860-1440 is our number here. And many other things to talk about. If you guys got something on your mind you want to talk about. Now, I know a couple of weeks ago I mentioned something about the police department, but I have been, shall we say, asked not to divulge certain things on the air until the process is over. And I think that's fair, because I don't want to be the cause of inaccuracy, at least not all the time. So, you know, sometimes you just gotta be quiet.
Yeah.
Good morning, on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good morning. Yeah. Right, no authority. That's true.
No, he was vice president.
No. He was senator when he took. No, he was senator. He was senator when
those papers are from. I thought he was vice president when he was during the Obama administration.
No, he was. Yeah. I think I remember that now. Yeah, and there always will be one. So I guess the best thing you do is stay out the tier.
Yeah, stay out the tier.
You know, I don't know. I just had a secret clearance, so they didn't let me get too close to anything.
But Colin, I just have to say I have a different understanding of the papers that you're talking about, and I'll have to look again. So I'm not going to argue with you about it. But to my understanding, the papers that they had were from his time as being, they were taken from the vice president's location, the naval base, to his office and home. So, okay, now as far as the senator, I don't have an understanding of those papers as a senator. That's new to me. I thought the papers in question were from the Obama administration that were taken from the naval station to his garage. Now that's what my understanding is. Now my understanding may be incorrect, but that's my understanding. So that's what my perspective is on what my opinion is. It's not his papers as a senator. It's papers from the 8 years that he was in the White House. That was my understanding. And my understanding may be incorrect.
And he had papers at a school where he was teaching. I don't know if he was teaching, but he had papers, secret papers over there too, in the
Well,
office. So
it's and that's presently under investigation. And
right,
yeah, yeah. Yeah. And my understanding, he is cooperating with them on the situation, on what papers they have. The papers that he have, they gave them to them, and they, meaning the Biden people, and they have cooperated as far as we know, and that's what we
George,
hear.
if he says
Now,
he can't remember, I believe.
Yeah, but when we're comparing, we're talking about a person who has papers, and the federal government has asked for them, and they said, no, I'm not going to give it to you. Now he says he was too busy to give it back to him. So he had to get his tennis shoes and his shirts out of there before he give it to him. Now you heard that right. No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
There's so many.
No.
So many.
The way we got here, the way we got it, sir, from my understanding, from my understanding, when the archives unit sent the information over to an enforcement unit, was because they were not having cooperation. That is my understanding. So you understand something different? Okay.
No, I've never seen
Sir,
that.
let me see, what you're doing now is called deflection. We're in a conversation about a certain thing. I asked you a question, and you bring up something else. The question was, sir,
I've never seen anybody.
Sir,
never.
This is the whataboutism. Okay, when I talk, I'm very specific in what I'm saying and the question I asked, and you went back to something else that had nothing to do with the question I asked.
But answer his question.
No, you answer my question
Have you
first.
ever seen a president ever?
And you're deflecting also. In our conversation,
yeah, I hear you.
We're talking about
I
the
appreciate you
papers
coming.
that he had.
Appreciate
and
you.
he asked because he made a statement. What I'm saying is, the caller said that the federal government said he was cooperating.
Good morning. Who's this? Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Who? Oh yeah, old Bill. Yeah, Billy Bob. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't. Billy Bob. Yeah. They did kind of run. Yeah.
It went from Whitewater to Monica Lewinsky.
Because they were cheating too.
Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. Never have I seen an FBI director say, "Well, she didn't mean to do wrong." Yes. Okay. Yeah. No, it's having on her private residence top secret information. Okay. Yeah. Well, she did. Of course, who's the force general? Colin Powell. Colin Powell used AOL to send to. Yeah. So I'm just saying, it's changed a little bit.
See, that's the technology, and there again, the whataboutism.
Yeah. Well, again. Well, you wasn't supposed to send. Wait a minute. You wasn't supposed to send those kind of documents that either one of them did either. Condoleezza Rice or Clinton. No, we didn't. Well, yeah, because they're Democrats. That's why. Because they're Democrats. Well, Condoleezza wasn't a Democrat, but close to it though. Comey was. Yeah. Well, I must admit that my good friend Donald Trump does give me reason to sometimes say,
Things that make you go,
I mean, I do have to, yeah. We know that's a lie. That's what they say. That's a deal they made, but he owed a hell of a lot more than that.
Well, that's what they say.
And he was giving money. Wait a minute. He was giving money from the money he was getting from Barista to his dad.
Do you know?
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah. No, okay, everybody now. Wait a minute. Your brother owed that kind of money? Your brother making that kind of money? I need to borrow a couple of dollars. Okay. Yeah. So, well, let me ask some. How can you didn't get some of that money from the brother? How can you didn't get some of that money your brother get? Okay. Okay. I'm just checking. I just want to make sure everything's copacetic. Okay. And I got to go to my last break. 7:58 month. We'll be back.
News update on News Radio 1440.
Yes, sir. You get to have fun every morning. Smartest man in radio.
Somebody said everything leads to Obama. You ain't never going after Obama. So no matter what Obama did, nobody's ever going to go after Obama. Nobody wants to be called a racist. So they let Obama slide with a bunch of crap.
That's not true. Donald Trump said for 8 years that Obama didn't deserve to be president because he was not an American citizen. Said he was born in Africa. And then that was a slight wink racist thing.
But I think I saw him in Hawaii when I was there.
Wait a minute. You told me you beat him in basketball. Watch it now.
I think he was the guy. I think he was the guy.
Just caught you.
I think he was the guy beating basketball.
Okay.
I saw him getting off the plane from Kenya. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. He was getting off the plane from Kenya. Okay. And you took him. Hey, one thing about lies, you got to remember what you say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in Kalihi, which is the hood in Hawaii, and he lived up there in Mauna Kea, which is the expensive neighborhood. Really? Yeah. Really? Yes, I know.
Oh, so you know where he lives.
If the address they gave me is right. If the address if the location of Hawaii that they said he lived, I know where he was.
So are you familiar with the school that he went to? That high school that he played basketball?
No, but I was in the Army.
Oh, you're in the Army. Oh, that's right. You're an old guy.
In the expedition has to sign a waiver.
Search area is larger than the state of Connecticut and twice as deep
that
as the
old guy,
Grand
you
Canyon.
were torn up.
Scorching heat continues across the
What about-
south. High for today.
No, he was a little boy. So I
104.
I've been living in Austin for like
Oh,
20 years
man.
now or something. It feels so much hotter than usual.
More than 200,000 people have no power across several states after a wave of severe storms. New study finds almost a third of homeless people in this country live in the Golden State. Dr. Margot Kushel at UC San Francisco.
Homeless in California because they're
That's good.
All people surveyed say they run up against poor credit history, discrimination, and health challenges before they're evicted.
You guys get back
Researchers say Florida, New York, and Washington also have high rates of homelessness.
As a
This
family.
week marks 1 year since the Supreme Presented in LA
Just
during the
me.
Rhythm and Soul
I
Music Awards
believe
celebration.
that
50
if
years
God
of
is
hip hop.
God, he
Organizers
can
say
have
the prize
anything
is
on this
given to
earth to do
Jefferson's
whatever he
music
wants
that
it to
made
do.
an indelible
Okay, let's
But I
I
mean,
asked a
Everett
question.
Rodriguez,
but
CBS
that's what
News.
I've been taught.
Let me ask you a quick again.
Yeah.
It's a simple question. I said,
I think it's
do
possible.
you think a snake told a woman, don't worry about what God said?
I think
eat
it's
the
possible.
apple?
I think it's
You
possible.
think that's what happened? You think that is, so that is
It's
nonfiction,
reasonable.
that happened?
I think it could have happened. You know, I
You-
wasn't there.
No, well, so a man who doesn't believe there's a dinosaur believes that a reptile talked and told a woman what to do.
Wait a minute. If God used a donkey to speak, then what makes me think he can't use a snake to speak?
Okay, well, when did you think it's factual that
Well,
a donkey spoke?
I until somebody shows me something that that's contrary to that, I
So
think
you
that's
believe
possible.
that? So the skeletons that they show of a dinosaur, you don't believe are skeletons of a dinosaur?
I think they can put anything together and call it what they want to call it.
Okay. So something that is is concrete, you don't believe, but something not concrete, you believe.
No.
That's thing that make you go,
Well,
yeah,
that's an interesting question.
yeah, things that make you go,
But I don't really, you know, if there's a God in heaven, I think that he can make anything happen he wants to make happen, or she.
Okay.
Well, I mean, so there's nothing, you know, you wouldn't believe that somebody can fall down a sinkhole and live, but people do. So there have been many. Did Lazarus come back from the dead?
See, in other words, the reason I ask you that is according to where you are born in the world, what you believe. Okay. That's
But
all.
you also
In
have
other-
to have a little reason
Once
and
that-
logic
no,
to
you
go
don't.
along
No,
with
you
it.
don't. You just
I think
believe
you
it.
do.
If you were born in India and your
Well,
parents
you think cows are precious?
if you were taught by your parents Buddhism or China or some area of Asia, and they told you the teachings of Buddha, and they told you that Buddha, when he was a young man, stopped a raging elephant just by holding up his hand and being calm. Is that factual? Or is it fictional?
I think it's possible.
Okay, so whatever is taught in Buddhism is just as factual and important as what is taught in Christianity.
And if it's reasonable, I don't see why.
So there is no reason to say that Allah is less to a Muslim
Oh,
or
I
Buddha
agree.
is less
Right.
to a person in Buddhism or a Christian.
I
who
mean,
believes-
people have a
or
right to believe as they choose.
If a person is in Judaism and believes that Jesus was merely a prophet, they're different. They have a different
And you have a
belief
right
from
to
you.
believe what you
So
believe.
the original and audience of the way we got to this, I asked Kevin a question. It was just things that make you go, I asked him, is the Bible fiction or nonfiction? And that started a conversation where I asked him, okay, is it factual that a reptile told a woman in a garden not to eat an apple? No matter what God told you, eat the apple. He's just doesn't want you to become powerful and something.
I think it's possible.
So you believe that is factual?
Well, I believe it's possible.
No, is it factual? Yes. or no?
Well, to be factual, I'd have to have firsthand information about it. But
yeah.
but-
So and I just
believe
brought that up to
it's-
bring an interesting thing.
It's possible.
And this I said that to do this. It just makes you go. But to a person who does not believe that dinosaurs ever existed,
Right.
even though there are skeletons of dinosaurs all over, but you believe that a reptile told a woman to eat an apple.
If you go through the Smithsonian, there's little tags on there that says these may not be identical replicas of the actual.
That's Smithsonian. I'm talking about the actual bones.
Yeah, but
that archaeologists have.
again,
The actual bones.
understand.
Are those the bones of a dinosaur?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Oh, you don't know.
They can put them together.
What is it? I don't know.
Because I like to see a dinosaur.
So those skulls and well, there are actual skulls and bones of skeletons of dinosaurs.
And according to the movies, in Armageddon, we went on an asteroid and saved the world.
Well, that's fiction.
I mean, so
that's fiction.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you know that's fiction.
Yeah, I know that's fiction.
So,
but is it possible?
But what you believe, is it fiction or nonfiction?
Well, I never have thought about it in that perspective, because belief is based on your heart and is based on
it's based on perception.
Yeah,
what you perceive is what you believe.
Yeah.
Whether that doesn't make it true, that is your perception of the truth. If a person perceives something to be true, it is true. Okay. So your perception gives you your point of view. And that's what I say all the time.
But isn't faith dependent upon the things you have not seen?
Yes.
Okay. So
and that's called faith.
Yeah.
And it only matters where you're born in the world, what your faith is. That's what gives you your perception. You perceive what you believe, and you believe what you were taught. If you were born in India, you would believe that a cow is sacred. If you were born in certain parts of Africa, you would believe that nature is all good, and nature is at certain parts. You know, Africa is a continent. So I'm speaking about continents, not just different people.
I believe faith and fact can coexist. I believe
faith and fact
can coexist.
Faith is one thing, fact is another.
But again, I believe they can coexist.
A matter of fact is concrete. Faith is a concept.
Right. But again, I think they can coexist.
They can, as long as you know what is factual and what is not factual.
Interesting.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. We're gonna discuss tomorrow with Dr. Merritt.
Yeah. So it leads into a good question.
Good morning. Well, they knew where it was. Well, we'll get in. We'll get into that later on.
Yeah, that's another thing.
That's a whole different ball game.
Yeah,
Good morning.
A whole different ball
game. Yes. But you're judging that by the falling of man, by not doing the right thing, and therefore allow other things to creep into our culture and our existence and our being. So I think when God made it, it was a perfect thing. But we kind of screwed that up by being disobedient. Yeah. I think you can't have one without the other. I think you can have them. I think you can have them both. Yeah. I mean, it is a scientific fact that the moon and the sun are in the sky. Now, who put them there? Well, that's a matter of belief. But that was the ignorance of man. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know much about that one. Yeah, haven't heard that. No. Can't read everything. Yeah. Yeah, that's a possibility. Hey, appreciate it. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. I think that's true. That's right.
Which God? Which God? Which God? Okay, is that Buddha? Who Buddha says? Is that who Muhammad says? Or is that okay? How do you know? How do you know he did that? So let me ask you this question. Do you believe that, let me just, I'm not interrupting. I just want to ask a question. Do you believe if you had been born in India that you would believe the exact same thing you do now? Yeah. If you were an Indian born in India, do you believe you would, huh? I'm sorry, say that again. Yeah. Why? Because if everyone, look, if no one around you told you, see, here's my question, because if no one around you told you about Christ, would you believe in Christ? No, what I'm saying is 9 times out of 10, if you were born in India, you probably wouldn't have heard about Christ because there are people who are in India now. That is a minority belief of people who come and talk about Christ and they look at him like they're crazy. They say, what is he talking about? And the same thing if you were born in certain countries in Africa or if you were born in China. Yeah. But the majority of but watch this. Right, because that's what they believe. See, and that's the most populated country in the world. There's over 1,400,000,000 people who do not believe what you believe. There are over 1,300,000,000 people in China do not believe what you believe. So if you say majority rules, who rules?
Well, that don't mean they're right.
That's right. So you're a minority. So does that make you right?
A lot of people have been minority and been right.
So what happens to the majority of people in the world? Well, but they do not believe what you believe.
But it just
are they going to heaven? So you're telling me the majority of this world is not going to heaven. The 1,400,000,000 people.
The pathway the path is.
So my whole thing in this, sir, is I'm saying that religion is a social construct. Believe what? Do I believe what? I believe that Christianity, as it is being practiced today, is a social construct. Okay. No, actually, no, I don't believe that. No, that's politics. That's another thing. No, there are Republicans who believe the same thing now. So I'm cursed. I'm cursed. I'm cursed because I don't believe what you believe. Okay. I don't believe the Jesus that you believe in. I don't believe the Jesus that you believe in. But I do follow the teachings of Jesus Christ, though. I believe in the teachings that are in the Bible, especially in watch this, especially in chapter 6 of Matthew. Matthew chapter 6. Let me ask you this. Okay.
Well, listen, we don't have this conversation on Thursday.
Yeah, it's on Thursday.
Yeah.
Hey, some of it may be, some of it may not be. But I'm telling you what I do believe are very good words.
Well, here, just we can go at it all day long. Yes. 8:19 in the morning, 860-1440 is the number here. Good morning on there. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Okay. Right. All of them. Go ahead. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Little wacko, but a very smart guy. Well, that was submersible. It wasn't quite a submarine. It's just a thing where rich people can pay to go and look at the Titanic. That's all it was. It wasn't the same type of submarine that we use for. It's just a submersible. Mm-hmm. Okay. Are we getting into?
All right, y'all put me to sleep right now, but I gotta go take a break.
Okay. As long as the little green man from Mars.
Traffic brought to you by Sons Automotive, family owned. Radio 1440.
We can go down the rabbit hole sometimes. Whoa. I'm like Alice in Wonderland. Which road do I choose? Yeah, you know that story, don't you? And it's very true. That's one line I always remember from Alice in Wonderland. When she fell down that rabbit hole, and Mad Hatter was over there and his group having a tea party, and she looked up and Sam pointed this way, Sam pointed that way, and she said, "Which road do I choose?" And then he asked Mad Hatter, I said, "Where are you going?" She said, "I don't know." He said, "It don't matter which road you choose." So when you think about it, if you don't know where you're going,
it don't matter which road you choose.
It don't matter.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean and
sort of like
morning
people in religion. They don't really know. They just do just in case. Well, just in case, I'll believe this. Just in case, you don't know for sure.
After everything they've
You gotta be sure in what
Steve even went after Hunter Biden. No, you gave Hunter Biden a little tap on the wrist. It's not even a slap on the wrist. And I was warning everybody to pay attention because the Biden hired one of the few good attorneys in Washington, D.C. His name is Abby
and it's
Law.
called love.
Abby Law
That's in the
takes
Bible
seriously.
love and charity are the same thing.
And he's
Did
the
you do
one
that?
that negotiated.
Because I look,
And
I've been reading over and over
Job as an attorney.
Matthew,
He's the one that got off John Edwards.
the
He's the one that got off Menendez.
6th chapter.
This guy knows.
You know, that's the only thing you need to read in the Bible. It tells you everything right there. And you pull part of it. Where do you think our daily bread comes from? What does the rest of that saying? What is he saying?
Almost as easy as ordering new custom window treatment
Jesus
from
said,
Blinds.com. Now, you don't
when he
know
asked how to pray,
Blinds.com.
he said,
Don't know a wrench from
what is it? And what's that line after that?
your home, they'll handle the installation
Hallowed be
start
thy
to
name.
finish. You can rest easy because they have 100% satisfaction guarantee. Shop
Give us this day.
Yeah. 40% off on
He said, not tomorrow.
That's 40% off.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about what happened. Give us this day our daily bread.
If you're hiring,
and then in there it also says, don't worry about these things.
you can hope the right person comes
And
along.
he tells you everything in there. If you follow the teachings of Jesus Christ in Matthew chapter 6, it tells you everything you need to do about fasting. I said, don't go around looking gloomy. Put on your makeup.
Don't let everybody know what you do.
Don't let your left hand know what the right hand doing. See, so if you give without showing people that you give. 1 through 4 tell you how to do. There was a movie based on that called The Magnificent Obsession. Whatever you do, everyone doesn't have to know what you did. Because you will receive your blessing from your Father, whether it's on this world or the next, and you really get into it.
Or does it just reveal and expose what was already
And don't be concerned about things. Matthew chapter 6. You read that, everything a Christian should do is stated in there. How to live, how to eat, how to pray, how to deal with other people, everything. All this other stuff in there, like building up riches, mega churches, cathedrals that they take 100 years to build. They've been building a cathedral in Spain for 100 and 200 years. That's not important. What's important is how you treat other people.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Dads, this Father's
How can we be
Day, Cordell
Christians and say we love God whom you ain't seen, when you hate your fellow man who you see every day?
There you'll receive
That's what
useful
gets me.
information from our panel of speakers.
This Republican and Democrat stuff. I remember when every person in the legislature was a Democrat, and we couldn't even vote. But that was a Dixiecrat. The Northern Democrats had a belief, and the Southern Democrats had. Northern Republicans had a belief, and Southern Republicans, which was almost non-existent. Because the big saying in Alabama was a yellow dog Democrat. That means I'll vote for a yellow dog before I vote for a Republican. That's what yellow dog Democrat means. And a blue dog Democrat is a yellow dog Democrat that has been turned blue by. And blue meaning turning blue in the face from the foolishness going on in the Democratic Party. So they're still a Democrat, but they're conservative. And they turned into Republicans. That's the history. So it's not black and white, cut and dry.
Are you suffering from
hard, but it's fair.
Not alone.
Had a good home, you should have stayed there. That's the rest of the story. But yeah, so I don't get in that thing of Democrat and Republican. Democratic Party never did anything for people. The Republican Party never does anything for people. They do it for some of them.
Well, that's why it's called party.
Yeah, it's a party.
It's their
party. Right. And they can choose who they want to be in there. Be it Democrat or Republican. Because if the Republican Party really doesn't want Donald Trump, they'll put him out.
He ain't never been a Republican.
No, he's not really a Republican. He's not a conservative Republican. He just says some things that people who vote Republican now want to hear. And they vote for him. So he's the kind of person now you either like him or hate him. You're never going to see anybody neutral on Donald Trump.
Just use ZipRecruiter. President of operations.
And that's why he loses, because independent voters who don't go to one party or other under any circumstance, she don't like him. There are people who just don't like him. That's Republican and Democrat.
At ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
But you like it. No, he's a good for talk show. He's a good guy. He's good for well, he's kind of messing up. Fox kind of messing up with him now. But so you got other news sources that have to happen now.
All right, we're back. 8:30 in the morning. You know, I was looking at the picture. Well, let me get this guy right. He's been waiting forever here. Good morning. Who's this? Oh, pretty good.
Right. Right.
Hey, it ain't my job to do that.
Yeah, and it's not mine either. In other words,
You know?
And sir, I don't even worry about that and take offense at it, because I know if a person is closed-minded, there's nothing you can say. This is for the audience to listen on having an open mind and what a perspective is. And I think you got, so the important part is you got what I was trying to say. If you were born in a place where something is taught, that's what you believe. And that's the only reason you believe it.
Well, that's an excuse. That's an excuse, people. If you really believe in something, you won't veer away from it. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think he kind of showed a little bit of compassion for the poor folks in America.
No, he doesn't. No, on what? No, on nothing.
Everybody gets something out of the deal.
No.
Yeah. Well, we were a whole lot better under him than we are been under Biden.
No, it was the same. There was nothing different.
Okay, I ain't mad at you.
There was nothing.
He gave HBCU $1 billion.
No, he didn't.
So he didn't do that.
He didn't do anything
different. Okay. Listen, y'all just don't like the guy, and we all do. We all pick the things that we want to.
Right.
So what?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mandela spent 30 years in jail.
Well, let's bring it up to today. Let's bring it up to today. The important thing now is he is causing more confusion in this country than we've ever had. Well, there are people who actually think he won the election because that's what he says.
I think he won. Okay. I think he got cheated.
So you're confused.
Well, that's what y'all want to say.
You're confused.
I think they bringing ballots in at 12 o'clock midnight.
That's not
Give
true.
me a break.
That's not true.
Listen.
Yeah.
I think our country can handle it. We handled the Civil War. Right. But we handled the Civil War when the country was divided. We still made it. We'll be all right. Yeah, we'll be all right. Okay, well, you just said
it. Yeah, it's in the Bible.
I mean, we manage it.
Yeah.
I mean, appreciate it. Gotta run. Yeah, I mean, we all believe what we believe, and America's big enough to, to handle it. I think
I don't know if you have a lack of confidence. If you don't have confidence in all the people who protect us and look after us and our security because of one person.
Well, you can have confidence in me. I'll look that after you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
but if we can no longer have confidence in the FBI, if we can no longer have confidence in the CIA,
but not because of Trump.
Well, there are people who say that it's been weaponized against him.
And it has been. It has been.
And if you believe that,
I believe that.
That's losing confidence in them.
I believe
saying
that.
an institution that is there for all of us is against certain people.
It ain't never been there for all of us.
Well, no, it hasn't been. But constitutionally, it is.
Constitutionally, yeah.
Just like that saying, justice.
Let me ask you, okay, and this is a serious question.
From you?
Yeah. We're reasonable people, most of us in America. We have a basic intelligence. We got the default intelligence. Why do you believe? And again, I want give me a serious answer. Why do you believe there are people like me and other people who believe that Donald Trump wouldn't know me from a roach in a hole?
Right.
Why do I believe, and why there are millions of other people in this country believe that this guy got railroaded? Why do you think we believe that?
Because you've been indoctrinated by
we're so stupid that we've been indoctrinated.
I'm not calling you stupid. If you believe where do you get your information from?
All over the place.
No, you don't. You get it mainly from conservative.
So you're gonna tell me where I get my information?
Yeah, I know exactly. Right now, if I pull up on your computer, the main things that are going to pop up are going to be conspiracy theories, things about conservative
that's not true.
Red states.
I'm not a conservative.
Look, Kevin, I'm saying, because this computer, the most dangerous thing in the world is a computer. The computer puts information, it gathers information about you, and then it presents to you because you're looking at the advertisement.
So you think 70 million or so people are all looking at Fox News, and we all believe.
But I'm saying the concept.
Why so many people feel that man got screwed?
Because
there ought to be something.
He is the figurehead for a group of people who feel that this country is being run over by aliens. And illegals are taking over jobs, and that black people are being promoted because they're black above them, and all of these things. And even you say that.
Are any of the things you just said true?
No, they're not.
So we don't.
But you believe it.
Okay, wait.
No. But that is your perception.
We don't have millions of people coming through our borders illegally.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's true.
And that's always been.
And it's time for it to stop. And that's the problem.
Why?
Because we have borders.
When did it matter? When all of those millions of foreigners came from Europe,
they came to Ellis Island. Ellis Island.
And what's the difference?
Because there's a process.
And what's the difference? They came in
the
here.
Process.
Okay, so now we have people coming from the South.
The process. But they're
they come for the same reason.
Well, they're invading.
Was that an invasion?
Our country.
Was that an invasion?
No, it was not.
Okay.
They stopped at Ellis Island.
So the process makes it different.
Yes. It's about coming here legally and illegally. But now, don't get me wrong.
Well, watch this.
I don't blame people for coming.
Always there have been people who were here illegally, and they are still here, who work on jobs here, and they've always done.
And I got to tell you this: if I rob you of your if I rob you one day of $1 million, and I've been here, I've had that same $1 million 48 years ago. Am I still accountable for how I got it?
Watch this.
I'm not still
accountable. The same people that you're saying, there are some people right now here in the city of Montgomery, who I know probably are not here legally, but they are productive citizens. You know what? They're quiet. The illegal immigrants here are not the ones causing the crime. They're doing jobs. The people who are here legally are causing all the crime.
Let me get it straight.
Not all of it. But
I don't blame anybody for trying to get here. If I was over there, I'd be trying to. But our government is supposed to protect those borders.
Here's what has happened. That thing of talking about protecting the borders has become an issue now, a big national issue.
Yes.
Because it's a prop that has been put up there to make
So we don't have borders.
Because we've always had what's going on.
Do we have borders though?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
But what difference does it make?
It means that it means.
Do we have a Canadian border? Watch this.
We have an open border.
Okay.
Because they're not.
Why don't we have an open border?
Because they're not trying to come up and use all of our resources, take stuff back.
What is the difference between a Canadian and a Mexican? Well, a Canadian can work in Detroit, can work over here, and go back over to Canada.
And so can you do in Mexico?
No. The way it's set up, we don't have that relationship. It's about
I think it's called a Class B visa or something.
What is the difference between the relationship of Mexico? Because it's cheap labor. That's to control the cheap labor.
We are not trying to get against people who come over here. I don't care. I would too. If I was in Nicaragua, but here's the problem.
Here's what happened, because the border is not an issue. If we did,
but it is an issue.
If we did like European countries do, where we would just trade with our neighbor Mexico, where there would be a lot of Mexican cities on the other side of that border, where the very same people who are in Mexico as Mexicans could be a Mexican, work over in America, and cross the street and go back home to Mexico. And that's what happens. That's what And
some of them
it's a big deal because we have this narrow place to come through.
Does America have a right to its own sovereignty?
Yes, it does. But what I'm telling you is,
wait a minute. No. If we have a right to our own sovereignty, we have a right to protect our borders.
Tell me the difference between a Mexican and a Canadian.
One speaks Spanish and one still belongs to England. Wherever they got the Montreal, they got the kings and queens, don't they? Whatever, I don't know. I don't care.
What is the difference between a Canadian and a Mexican?
But I don't care. I'm worried about millions of people coming here taking jobs from American citizens.
They've always done that. They've always.
When does it stop?
Look, right now, if you go, there's a construction site in my neighborhood right now, a $300 million construction.
I know about it, yeah.
And if you go by there, the majority of the people up on that skyscraper speak Spanish.
Why?
Because they're the ones who get the job.
Why? So are you telling me that young white men and black men will not do the work?
I guess not.
Good morning on air. No. 860-1440. Let me take a break and we'll be back.
USFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
There you go. That's another social construct. There's no difference between a Canadian and the Mexican. They will do the exact same thing if allowed.
Why is it that in America right now we got more Spanish people doing what we consider hard job? Are you telling me that black guys who in the in the building industry were the kings?
You know why? You know why? Because the same reason why when you had the mines, the coal mines of the North were first put up, most of those people were Irish. You know why?
Because they're willing to do the work.
Because they were the poor people. When they built the skyscrapers in New York, the majority of those people were poor white men. Okay. That's the way it was. So it's always a group of people who are going to be on the lower tier.
See, I'm not blaming those people.
Now it's just the people coming from the southern border.
Our government has a responsibility to protect those borders.
When you go up to our northern border, okay,
they ain't trying to get over here illegally.
Because you know why? Because there's no fence. What is a fence for? And what is a border for?
They keep people out.
Do they keep people in Europe? You can go from one country to another.
Not for a long time.
Yeah.
That's called the Berlin Wall.
That's only in one country. And then do the rest of Europe.
Making sure everything goes right, even behind the scenes without you. Confirming and double confirming with the restaurant that everything is on track. If there's a problem, thanks for calling EasyCater. Call us anytime, day or night, and we'll answer in seconds. We're right here with 100,000 restaurants, working hard to ensure the food arrives on time and is ordered. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Dads, this Father's Day, Cordell & Cordell celebrates you the entire month of June. Join us every Friday for our live webinar series, Father's Fridays. There you will receive much useful information from our panel of speakers. To register, go to CordellCordell.com/Father's Day.
For matters in Tennessee, visit CordellCordell.com. 200 West Martin Luther King Boulevard, Suite 1000, Chattanooga, Tennessee 37402. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quantity of legal services performed by other lawyers.
The world is a ghetto. Don't you know that it's true?
I can tell you something. The education system is part of the problem. You know, I'm 68 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
At every public school.
Good morning.
Every public school in Montgomery that was predominantly black.
Mm-hmm.
You know what one of the courses they had in there? They had auto mechanics, they had bricklaying, and they
Right.
had carpentry. You know why? Everyone wasn't going to college. And you knew
Right.
it. At that time, they knew it. Do you have it right now? We're supposed to be
Morning.
Do you have those classes in school now?
Mm-mm.
You had an opportunity to go in. Most of the guys who retired as bricklayers and carpenters my age, they started in high school.
Yeah.
Okay. So the
I don't know why we don't have them.
Every bricklayer that's older than me is probably dead
because they're trying to make everybody be computer literate.
Right, but what I'm saying is it's indoctrination. Is what the government wants, and it's not, and that's not a conspiracy. It's just that
right.
It's just if we.
Because why wouldn't they teach these kids how to do things with their hands? I mean, why? If you can do things with your hands, you can get a job.
Why isn't there a course in every public in all of these schools there? If you weren't very good, because I know guys that used to be thugs when I was, they didn't have quite gangs and stuff, but they were tough. And the teacher said, "Look here, son, you need to go down there to Mr. So-and-so who teach bricklaying."
I ain't gonna tell you shit, but Black Monopoly. The only choice is go to jail.
Get out of jail free card. Yeah, boy, I'm telling you. Kind of adds to our conversation. But that used to be an option, man.
Sure.
Because
y'all let it happen.
Because all the guys my age that are carpenters and here's what they did. It offered them an opportunity to become contractors.
But y'all let it happen. The folks who live here, who from it, y'all let it happen.
Well, that's all over the country. It's not just here.
You're right.
We let it happen. It's just a general way of thinking. Like now everything, and then now they're talking about AI. That's the most dangerous thing in the world.
It is. Okay, then we're back. It is 8:47 in the morning. Let's take one more call before we get into deep. Good morning. Who's this? All righty then. Must be getting closer to it's getting close to the end of the show, so I always start getting crazy people calling around this time.
Yeah.
Which is that's cool, I guess. But anyway, I got something else to talk about too. Good morning. All right, good. The mayor a year or so ago put up a what's called a homeless task force. I wonder how they're doing. You know how they're doing?
No.
So if you don't have homes or shelters to put people in, what good is a task force? I'm just trying to figure what good is that?
I can't comment on that because I don't know anything about the task force. I don't know what its mission.
But if it's homeless, it means it is to fix the homeless problem. At least try to. Okay, I'm just trying to figure what the purpose is. Because we got, I don't know why the city doesn't buy up one of them hotels and make it a temporary shelter for folks who don't have a place. Then we can't do that.
The first thing to do, and here's the thing, and other cities have done this. The first thing to do is to identify homelessness.
That ain't hard to do.
Oh no, it is hard to do because sometimes you'll just have scammers, sometimes, and mainly it's the problem. The biggest part of the problem is mental illness.
That's what we need.
We need to address.
How about mental laziness?
There again, you're going into other stuff. What I'm saying is identify what the homelessness is. We're looking at the symptom, but we need to know the cause.
Good
That's
morning,
the way
who's this?
to look at any situation of homelessness. What is the cause of the homelessness?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I'm trying to say I'm average. I'm trying to say I'm average intelligent.
Yeah.
No. Okay, now how long ago was it made? Oh, let me hear that one then. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Oh. Oh. So you're gonna tell me I know what they had for? Okay. So you think I know what they had for breakfast yesterday? Okay. But isn't it unprofessional for people to do that? Yeah, and I know who's charging it. Yeah. Yeah, they don't. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like her too. Yeah. I will get that to me. Let get so I can hear what you're talking about. All right, well, if it's worth sharing, we'll share it. All right, appreciate it.
All right, take care.
Oh, one thing after another around this city. Good morning. What's up, Mr. H? Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. And well, let me ask you, there's no discussion, there's no conflict. When I say this, I'm the smartest guy on radio.
Okay.
I said radio. I said radio in town. Smartest guy. I'm almost brilliant.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Well, anytime, Mr. H, you want some intellectual stimulation, you just turn that radio on. Yeah. Well, I'm glad to be part of your family in the morning. I appreciate it. I appreciate you letting me in your house. I appreciate it. One more call. Good morning. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. All right. Hey, appreciate it. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Yes, he is. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. At least I can do something for you.
There you go.
Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Well, I do have my picks and chooses. That's true. Who's her? Who's her? Who are you talking about? The who? Oh, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I'll do that sometimes. Okay. And another thing, let's listen. There are certain people. Wait. Let me make sure. There are certain people who call so infrequently, not every day. Maybe once every 6 months or something like that. Yeah, I'll give them a little break. But anybody who calls every day, I don't need to give you a break. Yeah, I'm gonna hear from you tomorrow. I ain't talking about you. I'm just saying some people do. Hey, Biden got a pass. I mean, his son got a pass. I mean, hey.
Yeah. Some people get a pass.
Yeah, some people get a pass. Yeah. That's right. I agree with you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough. It's something. Yeah, it is tough some days. Well, anyway, it's been an interesting window, but I want to get on that. The mayor's that task force that task force for homelessness because there's nothing going to fix homelessness except someplace to stay.
Well, you've got to define what homeless is first.
Well, there's one woman in the paper this morning living in her car. I think if you live in your car, you can't.
Why is she living in her car?
Well, because she don't have a place to stay.
And why
she did now she does.
Well, what is the root cause of it? You got to get to the cause.
Yeah, you do. But
some people may have a mental condition, may have a physical.
But even
condition,
people with mental condition need a place to stay.
And that's where we have to identify. There are a lot of veterans out there who are homeless.
I don't know
now,
why
those are very easy to work with.
Yeah, because the veterans got the veterans.
And with mental problems.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
There's a caveat. They have mental problems, and they're homeless. So we know that there is a situation where the VA can help them.
Okay.
VASH can supply homes for them.
Yeah, I need to go up there and check them out. I need about a 3-bedroom, big microwave.
No, look it up. The situation where they're handling veterans is because of that situation. That's the tiny homes. That's it. And there are cities all over America that have these places that specialize in.
What happened to the tiny homes you was working with? Oh, gotta go. See. So what happened to the tiny homes?
I'm working with. Well, see, I'm like that man said, self-approve yourself. I'm self-financing myself, but what I did, I have to finish the situation with my mom first.
Oh yeah.
We're going through all that. Once we get everything cleared up with the situation, then we sold the house, and once all of the paperwork is done and everything cleared out, then I'm through with everything I have to do at the house or deal with people that are buying or whatever. So once I get through with that, then my attention can focus on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Montgomery Humane Society says its shelter is overloaded right now and
Oh, really? I never thought about that. So just because you're a veteran don't mean that you get the benefits because you got a BCD. Other than honorable.
The home of the Ben Shapiro Show and heard on 95.1 HD3
Okay.
FM Montgomery, the Helios media station.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere. ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher.
Right.
It has helped us so much. Right now, we're offering a special
Well,
radio
yeah,
promo
that's
to
the
try
consequence you got to pay for.
But you have to go to
what you do.
abcmouse.com/radio
Okay.
to claim your free month.
Yeah, I got it.
That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Okay.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Next up,
All right.
Straight Talk from Doug.
Okay. I get it.
Ever noticed that saying no offense?
Mention something about veteran on there.
Like, no offense, but you're
What
over
happened, and I didn't realize that he just told me. What happens is that you can be a veteran or you want to be, but if you got what's called a BCD, a bad conduct discharge, or discharge other than honorable, you have wasted your time in the military because you don't get anything.
Well, like I say, you gotta identify
Right.
those who, when we're talking about the VA, you identify, so you gotta identify, there again, you gotta identify which veterans are there. You gotta identify which civilians are in the situation. But I don't think we have a process to identify who is actually homeless.